Now, real quick, let's go back in time. So let's just say a random, unmemorable day like October 31st, 2018, when Toby Fox's brand new game released, Deltarune, a cool parallel universe to Undertale with all new characters, along with Undertale's iconic cast. Almost every major character was here. Sans, Toriel, Asgore, Onion San, pretty much everyone. Well, not everyone. It seems like Papyrus wasn't able to make an appearance. Strange, but it's not too bad. According to Toby, he's just busy. There's still 6 chapters left. Oh boy, it's 2021, and chapter 2 is here. And, well, Papyrus still isn't here, but it's kind of weird, right? Sin said we could hang out with him today, and now we can't. What's up with that? Well, like, it's okay, 5 chapters left. I'm sure everyone's favorite skeleton's gonna make an appearance. Oh boy, chapter 3 and 4 finally here after the 4-year wait, and, he's still not here. No mention. Sans doesn't even try to pull off the hangout this time. He's just gone. The Trousling of Bones is no longer distant. It's just gone altogether. Where the actual hell is he? 1 chapter, it's funny. 2 chapters is pushing it. But now, halfway through the game, Papyrus is still missing. I love Papyrus. He's my favorite character ever, and I hate to see him be banned from the cool kids club that is Deltarune. But I think I can help pinpoint the most likely option on where he is. Papyrus is Waldo, and I'm here to find him, and he can only hide for so long. Now, they only mention anything really Papyrus at all is from Sans, or he asks you to go to his house and hang out with him. This sort of implies that, well, he exists, and, yeah, he probably would be at his house, but he seems to, like, really be at his house, like, shut-in level. This is the most common explanation for his disappearance, that Papyrus is a shut-in in Deltarune. And I'm honestly inclined to agree. What does Papyrus have in the Deltarune world? In Undertale's main motivation for really anything was being in the Royal Guard, which would therefore make him popular. He had his cooking, which he learned from Undyne. But in Deltarune, he has none of that. No Royal Guard exists, obviously, and he most likely never met Undyne, as him and Sans just recently moved into town. And without Undyne, there's no cooking lessons. So he never found his passion for cooking. He seems to enjoy collecting action figures and going on his computer, stuff that he doesn't really need to leave the house to do. It's kind of interesting, really. All the Undertale casts had their own little secondary hobbies, even disregarding their roles in Undertale. Toriel always wanted to teach, Alphys had her anime, Asgore had gardening, etc. But Papyrus's hobbies seem to be entirely reliant on the world of Undertale. Papyrus being a possible shut-in also started another theory that Papyrus acts like his original beta self. To those who don't know, Beta Papyrus was created to be a super unlikable character who wore a fedora and watched a show called My Little Pony. Literally an unredeemable character made to be hated. People speculate that Papyrus is a lot like his beta self in Deltarune, explaining the lack of going outside. But I don't see it. Undertale's characters are really not changed too much from Deltarune. They all essentially act the same and have the same personality traits. Papyrus's personality and character being entirely changed just wouldn't really make much sense. And I doubt Toby would want to make Papyrus super unlikable. It was kind of scrapped for a reason, you know. I think if Papyrus was a shut-in, he would still sort of act like himself, just sadder. But there's so much more. When left with a question as broad as, where is Papyrus? The community will cook up plenty of answers like, Papyrus doesn't exist. Think about it. Papyrus's name isn't mentioned at all in the game. Maybe he just isn't real. That can't be it. Who is Sans' brother then? Well, obviously we know the answer. It's Baby Bones. Okay, I'll be serious here. The implications of Papyrus not existing are pretty interesting. The idea of a world functioning perfectly fine with someone missing is talked about by Goner Kid. It's not entirely impossible for Sans' brother to be a different character, though I don't think it's likely. A universe without Papyrus just simply couldn't function. But being forgotten is a theme that's really present with Papyrus, and it would connect him to another forgotten character of Deltarune, the Forgotten Man. Papyrus is mentioned as forgettable in the genocide route, and just has several lines talking about forgetting stuff. Now, the main chain between Papyrus and the Forgotten Man is eggs. The Eggman gives you eggs, and Papyrus has the exact same egg in his house. The most interesting fact is this merch piece with Papyrus standing behind the exact same tree the Eggman is behind, though being on merchandise makes its canon relevance questionable. The Forgotten Man is also a lightener, as it's seen in the diner, as well as in a car, connecting it even more to Papyrus. Now, is this it? Did we solve the mystery and finally find Papyrus? Well, probably not. The way the Eggman talks is really not how Papyrus talks. I mean, not using the font is not really an excuse that would give it away, but the way of his speech is a lot more like Gaster, or maybe another Goner entity. but I think it's not impossible. The Papyrus Forgotten Man theory has been around since the Chapter 1 days, but I'm not entirely convinced yet. Well, like, maybe he's the knight. Look at the design. Tall, kinda has a battle body, and look at the antlers. Everyone knows about Papyrus's antlers. It's like a core part of his design. We still don't know who the knight is. And the antlers could just be like a cool helmet, and the baseball bat, well, you know, everyone has baseball bats, not just Des. Papyrus probably likes sports. It's just a coincidence. Who am I kidding? It can't be the knight. This thing has holiday family written all over it. But it could just be another Tony trick. Look at the end of the battle fog. It's the same as Papyrus's. And look at these poses. Only someone as cool as Papyrus could pull these off. Okay, I'm convinced again. Always bet on Papyrus Knight. Well, what's left here? Alright, I found something. Papyrus is a baby. Okay? Listen to me. The way Sans talks with Papyrus really gives off the vibes that he's a lot younger. Directly calling him his little brother. It just seems to treat him like he's a lot younger. That can't be right either. Why the hell would he ask you to hang out with a stupid baby? Or even leave a baby at home alone? All the characters seem like they're the same age in Deltarune, maybe a bit younger, but Papyrus being an entirely different age makes no sense. Okay. What about college? Yeah, college. Papyrus is at college with Azrael. It would explain his disappearance and his pretty innocent, low-stakes reason for why he's gone. And that would directly connect him to the knight. You know what college does? Makes you lose your mind, giving Papyrus a perfect reason to open 12 dark fountains. Yes, it all makes sense. Well, no, Papyrus is clearly at home. Sans asks you to hang out with him the next day. Then why does he say, maybe when your brother comes home? That's such a weird thing to say. He says it like Papyrus is at college. So maybe Papyrus isn't home? Or is no longer at home? In Chapter 4, the bones are no longer growing distant, but entirely missing. The way it's worded kind of implies that he just is gone now. What happened? Well, the most likely option is he was kidnapped by the knight. Undyne gets kidnapped, Toriel almost gets kidnapped, and Onion Sand just kind of disappears. Maybe Papyrus did too, but like, why? Undyne directly tried to interfere with the knight, and Toriel, I don't know, she was just kind of around, and I think the knight just wanted the free XP. But if Papyrus is just hanging out inside of his house, doing nothing, the knight just decided to barge in his house and kidnap him. And does Sans even know? Does Sans even care? You know what he's doing in Chapter 4? Bumming off at Toriel's house drunk. It's all so confusing. The hardest part for me is why. Why did Toby choose specifically for Papyrus to be excluded from Deltarune? The only major Undertale characters to be missing are Muffet, due to her being a Kickstarter character. Mettaton kind of, but even he's inside his house. And I guess Mad Mew Mew, but calling her a major character is kind of pushing it. But Papyrus, he is a major character. He has the most lines in Undertale by far, having unique lines for every single room you call him in. Toby seems to love Papyrus and writing for him. He's in every trailer for the game, every newsletter. Got 2 whole Q&As where the green grass thing was mentioned, connecting him to Deltarune. He has to be relevant in some way, right? I don't think Toby would hide him as a joke for 7 chapters. It's just kind of weird. Why would Toby choose not to use a character he loves writing for? It's so confusing. I know he's important, I just can't prove it. But this brings up the question of what's next for him. Chapter 5 is the festival, the town-wide event where everyone's bound to show up. Papyrus has to make an appearance, right? I feel like Sans would make him go. Honestly, if he's not in 5, I can't see him being in the rest of the game. I'm almost convincing myself he doesn't exist. Like, why the hell is he not here, Toby? I miss him! Maybe Papyrus just wasn't fit for the world of Deltarune. It seems to function perfectly fine without him. In Undertale, he had so much to do, and affected everyone around him. He got you to become friends with Undyne, brought everyone together for the end of True Pacifist, was, well, known in town for being the silly skeleton guy. The townspeople never brought it up, but they did care about Papyrus. When you kill him, they notice he's missing. Killing Papyrus causes Undyne to get scared, Sans to disappear. The absence of Papyrus fundamentally changes the entirety of Undertale. He is the glue of that universe, but in Deltarune, he has no purpose. He sits inside all day, or is forgotten, or is a Reddit mod, but nobody notices. And everyone is happy in Hometown, happier than they are in Undertale. Sans is even happier here too. Papyrus is just not himself in Deltarune. Someone who literally talked to everyone, hardly knew what sleep was always out in the world doing stuff, is just rotting away in his house instead. Maybe that's just too grim. Maybe Papyrus is just really busy, as the Steam page said. Maybe he works out of town, or really somehow is at college, taking online courses or something. But if the theme of Deltarune taking elements of Undertale that we always wanted to see, like a working Mettaton Neo in a Gerson fight, I could possibly see a Papyrus Dark World encounter where we finally get to see him at his full potential. Maybe even see his special attack. I don't think it's crazy likely, as Deltarune seems to keep the Undertale cast as more side characters, but I'd love to see it. Toby's choice of this Papyrus exclusion will never not feel strange, but I'll admit, it makes future theorizing of Deltarune a lot more interesting. Whether him being a major character or not, I don't doubt that stupid skeleton is hiding somewhere. What am I talking about? Obviously he's the Roaring Knight. Always put on Papyrus Knight, baby!